Welcome to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast, where we unlock the power within and navigate the journey of your self-discovery together. I'm Shaz, your spiritual mentor and life coach, here to help you tap into your inner guidance system and manifest your best life. Whether you're just beginning your spiritual journey or looking to deepen your practice, this podcast offers insights, techniques, and inspiration to elevate your consciousness and transform your reality. Get ready to shine your light and embrace your true potential. Remember, the answers are inside you. Let me be your guide on earth. Welcome back to the Spiritual Awakening podcast with Shaz. I'm your host, Shaz. Today's episode is called You Are Not Your Problems, Let Go and Step Into Your Power. So many of us hold on to old struggles, old patterns, old problems, baggage and experiences from our childhood, our past relationships and life, but they don't define who we are. I want you to remember you are not what happened to you, but who you are and what you choose to become despite what happened to you. Trauma, toxic behavior, problems, pain, they're all things that we go through throughout life, from early childhood all the way through our adulthood. And too many people are holding on to those experiences so tight, like they're holding on to it like a badge of honor. But everything that you've ever been through has taught you something. It has been a lesson, a journey for your soul and your spirit to evolve. And you cannot become who you are right now without any of that journey taking place. We don't really grow through ease. When everything is easy for us, we stagnate. We then create problems for ourselves, or we become bored, sabotage ourselves, and get into great self-harm. People turn to crime, people do bad things and end up in jail, stuff like that, because they aren't evolving or learning from what their soul wants them to learn. Everything within our life is a healing and a growth opportunity. All the interactions with people, our family members, everything is here for the soul, the core essence of our being, to grow and evolve. Some people do that with very simple, easy lessons, but many people don't. It's through the hardest things that we find true strength, courage, grit, determination, skill, and everything that we need. So it's about your attachment to struggle. If you are holding on to old patterns, you turn everything in life into struggle and hardship. And that's an attachment that is time for people to start to let go. You don't need to carry that baggage with you. It served a purpose. It taught you something. It gave you something beautiful from it. Many people struggle to see that perspective. But in essence, you are not who you are without that struggle. You are not who you are today without going through those different life lessons. And it's up to you how you honor those lessons. Are you going to hold on to the trauma of it, of what it did to you, of how it happened to you, of how everything was somebody else's fault? Or are you going to take personal responsibility and stand up and honor your soul for going through it and discovering more about who you are? Because everything about it has taught you something about self. If you grew up in a struggled and a toxic family relationship like I did, yes, it was hard to feel unwanted and to be told that you weren't anything and that you'd never amount to anything. But it taught me independence. It taught me tenacity. And it taught me great courage to discover my own self-worth. For without those lessons, you can become entitled, expecting other people to do things for you. You give up easy, you fail at everything, and you lack the wherewithal to try or do anything. And that's unhealthy in the psyche. So look at what you've been through and ask yourself, how has that elevated you from what you could have become without it? You literally cannot traverse the pathway of your life without those lessons. But we've got to stop carrying the baggage and the burden. Yes, it hurts your feelings when someone at school tells you that you're no good, and it creates insecurity that you're not pretty enough, you're dumb, you're stupid, all of the crap things that children say to each other. But when you become an adult, why do we still give those thoughts, those feelings power? And why do we give away our sense of self to somebody else who says we can't do anything? Who says we can't? You can do anything you want to. You just have to want to. Ironically, the word can't is a big challenge to most people. Tell someone they can't do anything, they'll do everything in their power to go and show you how wrong you are. That's a mindset shift. It's up to you how you use what other people are telling you, whether it drives you or solidifies the self-doubt, the unworthiness, and the lack of self-acceptance within you that makes you lie down, roll over, and become nothing, or whether you turn that into a superpower and go, just watch me, whether it creates great determination, great insight and focus to do exactly what they tell you that you're incapable of doing. The greatest success stories out there all were told at some time in their life that they can't do that. One of my favorite little stories in life is Ed Sheeran, and he shared a video on a Graham Norton show of one of the first times he sung when he was 12 years old, and he'll tell you he was terrible. And they told him he couldn't do this and he'd never be anything because he has red hair, he had all these things going against him. And he's now one of the most major pop stars in the world. He has a brilliant voice, can play an instrument like brings chills to your spine. And he did all that despite being told that he can't do it. It's how he took back his power from what somebody advised him not to follow and said, you know what, I'm going to do it anyway. Go and look at any of the great athletes out there. They all fail. They all fall down at some stage in their life. They all lose a game. They all make a wrong decision. They all make a mistake. But they use those problems, those mistakes, those errors to shift and focus on improvement. They adjust the way they show up in their sport. They train, they get better, but most of all, they stick with it. We are told many, many times in our childhood in the past that we cannot do this or we'll fail at it, that we're not good enough. And we can either take that as gospel and roll over and become a people pleaser and go, okay, no, I won't do that because you tell me it's not right. Or you can literally turn around and say, fuck you, watch me. The strongest people turn around and go, yeah, you want to bet? Another one of my favorite stories is, for example, Lady Gaga. She dated a guy that told her that she can't sing and she'll never amount to anything. And she turned around and said to him, one day you're going to walk into a coffee shop and you're never going to be able to not hear who I am, not know who I am, or not hear me on the radio. And she fulfilled that promise because it was a promise that she made to herself. You can too. We revere celebrities in life because we're so enamored by what they've done, but they all did it through hard work, tenacity, and the inability to accept somebody else telling them what to do in life. They all took back their power, stood up for themselves and said, I can do this because I'm willing to commit, to show up, and to do everything I can to achieve this goal. That is the big thing that keeps people stuck in the same energy, is they won't put the effort in that it requires to create the success then they know they're capable of. They fall down at the first hurdle and give up because somebody else said, or a coach said, or a teacher said, or a parent said, no, you can't do that. That's not what life's all about. We are meant to hear no so that we can ask ourselves internally, do I really want this? Because if you don't want something enough, you're never going to achieve it. But if it becomes so important to you, there is nothing and no one that can stand in your way. Your emotional healing is like this. You can go and become all the labels that people put on you. At the moment, when you look around social media, adults, and everyone wants to be labeled as having ADHD, as ASD, as whatever version of the LGBTQI, whatever movement that is, or transgender. We are not the labels that people put on us. We are individuals who have things that, yes, we have to work on, and some minor or major hurdles in the way, but we can overcome them. Everyone likes to go get a diagnosis and to be told that they have these conditions, or that they are this, or that they can't help who they are based on the label that somebody's giving them, simply to use it as an excuse not to do. But when you are strong of heart, you have faith in self, and your soul stands up, and throughout the spiritual awakening journey, that is what happens, is your soul wakes up and turns around and says, you know what, we're better than this. We chose to become more than what we're allowing ourselves to be. We fight for ourselves. Go and look at anyone who's had a major accident and then come back from it. Go and look at someone that's lost a leg and told that they won't do anything or walk again, who has managed to become a super athlete, because they are out there. We can allow the labels, the boxes, the conditions, or the containers that people choose or want to put us in to confine us, or we can break free and we can overcome that and become something for ourselves. But it's based in our own conditional thoughts about who we are. You are not your burdens. You are not the labels that people try to put on you. You are not the trauma you have been through. You already won that. You are a survivor. You are strong. You are courageous. You are magnificent. And that is the thought process you need to start learning about who you are. That is the thought process that you need to own and encourage yourself to remember again. It's not about believing it, because the belief is already there. Because the reason you have so many triggers and problems in life is your soul knows who you are, what you're capable of, and everything that you can do. But you have disconnected from that portion of your soul, your higher self, and you don't remember the power that lies within. It is up to you to let go of what happened to you and find the way through of telling yourself, convincing yourself that it happened through you, so you can become who you are. And who you are is pretty powerful and amazing. You may or may not have reached the pinnacle of all you can be, but it's never too late. It is never too hard. And it is available to you if you're willing to put in effort to do what you need to do to become who you choose to be. Part of the problem and why we say stay stuck is that everyone likes to continue to talk about the same problem of what happened to you, and you're reprogramming your brain constantly of being that victim, that person that couldn't fight back, that person that was incapable of doing or achieving what they said they could do. So be mindful of the stories that you're telling yourself. Don't keep telling yourself the same story, because that's only one perspective of what happened. Review the story and remind yourself of how you already overcome it, what you gained from it, and how that shaped you to become where you're at today. A lot of this is about acceptance of who you are. Yes, we can have foibles. I could possibly be labeled as having ADHD. I refuse to go and get tested because I don't see that it defines me. I have a label of having CPTSD, but I won't allow that to control me either, so I overcome it. I will not allow my trauma, my pain, and the struggles that I went through in the past to define who I am today. And my prayer for you is that you do the same. If you feel like your past struggles justify you being stuck, you're selling yourself short. You can stay in this pattern, you can stay stuck and keep doing what you're doing, but ask yourself, how's that really working out for you? Is this the existence that you want to continue? Because you don't have to stay here. We do become programmed to believe that's all we're capable of, but the brain is like a computer and you can change those programs at any time with effort and through choosing how you want to act, how you want to show up, and the healing that you allow yourself to take place. Everything in life is a series of perspectives. And let me tell you, what you think happened to you and how you felt at the time that it happened is vastly different to who you are today and how you feel about that scenario right now. But you don't have those conversations with self in your head, and you don't analyze the two sides of the coin, and you don't see the full perspective of how you would react now instead of back then, because you are not the person that you were. You have come so far from that person. It is time for you to recognize that so you don't attract the same lessons, the same scenarios in life, the same relationship patterns, the same struggles, to really confirm to yourself and your brain that you've already overcome it. Using the past to define you keeps you in a victim mode or a victim archetype. That is where you're blaming that life happened to you, everything happened to you, you have no control in life, you lack choice, everything else is out of control, and you become what I call a minion. It's where you sit there and allow other people to tell you what to do. You disempower yourself by not choosing or making decisions that empower you. This all comes down to choice. You can stay in that mode, but it's unhealthy. It creates depression, anxiety, stress, overwhelm, and eventually disease. Or you can choose to go back and see how each of those moments empowered you with a new skill, a new emotional capacity, a new activity, or a new awareness of who you are. And one of the greatest skills that you can ever gain in this journey of life is the skill not to repeat bad behaviors, bad patterns, and bad experiences that you went through on other people. That's what evolution's all about. The reason you struggle with some of that is because all the guilt and discomfort that sits on you is the misalignment of your true feelings of who you are today, being stuck in a past pattern of believing you were who you were before you learned these lessons and the skills to be able to deal with them as they faced you. Yes, your struggles have shaped you, but they don't have to define you. We take definition of things from what other people label us as, put us down with, how they tell us who we are. We allow other people to tell us whether we're pretty enough, whether we're smart enough, whether we're strong enough, whether we're capable enough. That is not the opinion that matters the most. The opinion that matters more than anybody else's in life is your own. And that is the one that you need to focus on in order to change. Because if you can't change your own opinion of self, you're never going to believe what anybody else tells you, whether it's good, bad, or otherwise. Listening to people say harmful things to you creates toxic patterns and a self-belief that that is all you deserve. But it's so untrue. You are worthy of so much more than you give yourself credit for. All of this isn't about denying the past or not acknowledging its existence. It's about accepting the past happened and how you got through it, survived, changed, and grew to become who you are and where you are today. The past doesn't need to have the power over you that it does by holding on to it. It's already gone. You already survived and even thrived through it because you become more than what you were from those experiences. But sometimes you have to release those old patterns and lessons through doing deep forgiveness work. Forgiveness, people start to think, is about other people, when in truth it is about yourself. It sets you free. Forgive the people who did things to you because they had a soul contract with you to do that for you to grow and evolve. We blame other people for what they said, what they did, how they acted, to whatever traumas they created on us. But we couldn't get to where we are without that. And that's the important factor in life. We are exactly where we are right now is exactly where we're meant to be. And the only way we could get here is through the pathway that we took. For if we took another pathway, we wouldn't be where we are. And trust me, when you don't take the pathway the right way, you will find the lesson to come back around and again because it's the way it's meant to be. This is about where you start to understand how you process through the pain, how you release what was, and you stop holding on to those emotions, those thoughts, beliefs, or patterns that other people have instilled in you. You do have choice to let go of that pain. You don't have to identify with it anymore. It is an identity. It is an archetype. It is a part of you that used to be. And you have the choice of whether you stay there or you evolve to grow, move forward, and to become more. And it's in letting go that gives you the most freedom. But it doesn't erase the story. It just means you accept that that's who you used to be. It is one of the main things that people who overcome addiction have to face for themselves. Okay? They will tell you they are an alcoholic. They have to accept that they have a problem with alcoholism. They move and evolve to become sober. Being an alcoholic does no longer define them to be who they were. It is just part of who they are, or who they were is no longer who they are today. They chose no longer to repeat the disruptive behavior, to keep up with the addiction. They chose to evolve, to move on. Yes, it is part of their story, but it's no longer their definition. And they will never truly become sober and overcome that until they release the definition of being that alcoholic. We don't deny that they existed because it is an important factor of who they are. It is just not current. So you need to make sure you're not saying, I am an alcoholic. I was an alcoholic. I am sober. I am clean. I am strong. I am healthy. Yes, you can identify that you were an alcoholic because it is part of the archetype and person that you used to be, but make sure you're not solidifying it in self, in owning that you are currently that. You were an alcoholic is something that you had a behavioral problem with and an addiction that everywhere you went that you had no choice but to drink, or you chose to drink too often or too much, and then you created a problem with alcohol. But don't own something that's no longer true. I am statements sit in our base chakra. They're core beliefs that we create. And saying that I am useless or worthless or a failure, a problem, I'm hopeless. These are solidifying beliefs and factors in life that don't serve you purpose. As we move up our different chakra system, we get to different phraseology within about how I see, how I feel, how I hear. And when you get up to the crown chakra, it's about I understand. I understand I was an alcoholic. I understand I have a problem with alcohol. That problem with alcohol means that I no longer can have any alcohol. You can understand that alcohol is a problem, but don't label yourself an alcoholic because you will never move away from that. Remind yourself that's who you were, not who you are today. It's about transforming the story and recognizing the story that you're telling yourself. Are you still holding on to labels that no longer serve you? As I said, I've been diagnosed with CPTSD. I no longer hold that label. I'm a trauma survivor. I'm strong. I'm determined. I am powerful. I'm courageous. I am brave. I am all those other things I choose to be. I choose to sit in my well-being. I choose to sit in my power. I choose to own my success. We create many, many labels based on our pain. But that pain holds us back from being at peace within ourselves. So surrender the pain. Let go of the label. Let go of the box that somebody else put you in. Burst through the top, step out of it, and carve the box into pieces. Expand the circle of awareness around you. Step outside your comfort zone. Stop playing small. Reframe that story to how you overcome it, all the skills that you've gained today, and remind yourself of all that you can do when you move into the future with that. You become what you choose to believe. Everything in life, every challenge that you overcome, taught you something. Find the lesson and embody that lesson. Use it for a power stance. If you don't know how to embody it, you can tap it in using EFT. You can use affirmations. You can use hypnosis. You can use subliminal messaging. You can do emotion code healing. You can get access to kinesiology. There are many ways for you to release old pains and old patterns. The easiest way to release old emotions is literally to sit with it, acknowledge it, feel it within your body, and have a self-conversation of thanking it for existing, of where it is, and reminding yourself how it served you. Because yes, it has served you in the past. It doesn't need to serve you in the future. Turn this pain, this knowledge into wisdom rather than the weight of the burden that it has become. Cut through your energetic cords. Let go of what was. Use EFT or even journal about it. Have deep conversations with your psyche about, yes, that was your story. It is part of the history that makes up of you. One of the greatest things that's happening in society right now is too many people are trying to deny the history of the world. They're trying to deny all the things that have shaped us to become where we are. Never deny your history, but don't own it and wear it like a badge of honor. Don't use it as a scapegoat to not become all you can become. Don't allow it to become the weight or the burden that you carry it around to protect yourself. Don't let it make you hide from becoming more, from showing up, being seen, being heard, putting out exactly who you are to the universe. If you struggle to let go of the emotion because they're so deep, write it all down on paper, go outside and burn it. Practice releasing meditations or Ho'oponopono. The 4 phrases of Ho'oponopono are please forgive me, I'm sorry, thank you, and I love you. Clear the energy of it, release it, and let it go, and it's life-changing. Visualize all the negative energy floating out of your body. Remove the pain. The biggest concern that you need to be aware of, the longer you hold on to your emotional pain and the burdens you carry from your past, the more chance you have of creating disease and pain within the body. Where you have pain and disease already, go and consider the emotional problems that create those pains, heal the burdens of them, and you will release the disease. You do not need to make yourself sick carrying these burdens any longer, because you get to rewrite your narrative. You get to choose who you are. You get to decide who you want to be now. You have a clean slate every single day. You have a choice every single day. When we go to sleep, we reset our mind and body, we reset our vibration, we create a fresh start. And you can wake up in the old patterns, in the old beliefs of going, I'm hopeless, I'm worthy, nothing works out for me, life is terrible. Or you can wake up saying, everything works out to me, I attract everything that I need, the world and universe supply me with everything, I'm abundant in all areas. Your choice of thinking happens in those first 20 to 30 seconds when you wake up. You can choose to wake up in a happy place, or you can choose to wake up in a sad place. But it's all open and up to you. You have the power to change the narrative. You have the power to rewrite your story. The only person that can choose to do this healing is yourself. It takes effort. It takes concentration. It takes awareness, acceptance, and it takes brutal honesty. Ask yourself, quite frankly, do you want to stay where you are, or are you ready and available for so much more? You have a choice to make each and every day. If you can't do this on your own, this is why I'm here. I do group coaching or one-on-one coaching for emotional healing. I can teach you how to use EFT to get rid of old patterns and change your thought processes. I can do emotional healing or business or personal coaching with you to change your mindset around your beliefs for who you are. I can help you with hypnosis or NLP timeline therapy to find those lessons that you can't find for self, to understand why you went through back in the past, to allow yourself to let go of it, to bring it forth in your future and empower yourself with those lessons. Every single thing you have been through has helped you to become who you are. They don't define you. You are not your burdens, your problems, your struggles. You are you. Every soul is amazing, brilliant, fascinating, and wonderful with this undeniable and limitless possibility of tapping into greatness. It exists within you if you give yourself permission to do so. Take one simple action today. Find the biggest struggle or the burden or the most negative thought that you have right now and go and write it on a piece of paper. Write down all the negative thoughts that you hold inside your head. Bring them to light and ask yourself, is that who you were or is that who you are? Are you ready to let go of who you were or what other people helped define you as and create a new definition, a new narrative for yourself? Are you ready to stand up and choose who you want to be? And then start to become that. Take small steps. Tap in the new version of I am powerful. I am strong. I know my own worth. I can do anything I choose to. I have a great new day. Everything and every possibility is open to me today. I am limitless possibility for life. I have unlimited power. I am the creator. I am connected to Source God, and that is the Almighty of everything that exists. Allow those thoughts to sink into you. You deserve it, you are worth it, and you have the power to make this change. Yes, some people can do it for themselves. If you're struggling and you don't know how, you can book a free 30-minute breakthrough call, and I can help you identify some of the strongest emotions that are causing you problems and give you tips on how to do it. Or come and do some coaching with me. Let's delve deep and change your whole life. I am starting my Shine with Shaz program soon. So if you do want to come and join my 3-month group coaching program where I teach you all the tools, methods, and ways to heal the inner child, align with the shadow, let go of what was, and to find your superpowers to stand up and create the life you know you deserve, and to step into that timeline of worthiness, of greatness, and become the success that you're meant to be, come and join us. It is open. Please reach out to me at any time. Finally, just consider, what is one past belief or story that you are now ready to release? Message me or drop a comment below, and I'm here to help serve and help you through this journey. You don't have to traverse it alone. One of the biggest things that I was able to be blessed with were great mentors and teachers, and I hope to be that for other people. Yes, I have time to answer your questions. Reach out on Facebook or email me. I'm available if you can't do this for self. There are many tools and resources out there, and you are so worthy of the effort that it takes to change and rewire your mindset to become the powerful, beautiful creator that you are. Stand up, take notice, and claim back your power. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for listening to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below so you don't miss an episode. You can also follow us on Facebook with the links below. Until next time, trust your intuition and let your spirit soar.